Hello, Mira. Hello, Shawn. I'm so overly excited to have you here, Shawn. It's an honor. I just want to say to everybody that although I came in channeling, I didn't know what I was doing, of course. And when I decided to do it professionally, I went to Shawn's classes, the channeling classes. And I cannot tell you how much that expanded me and educated me and so much love. And the beings, Shawn, of course, he's a great teacher, and the beings that come to teach us are, I have no words for them. They're just, ah, I'm so full just thinking about them. So I would like Shawn, please tell us about maybe a little bit about your background so people know.
Sure, sure. My background is uh, actually been in show business, and then I was always intrigued by otherworldly things and multidimensional things. And I took a mediumship class, and over the course of a long time, developed my relationship, and that's a relationship with Torah, the entity I channel. So I started channeling Torah and helping people, giving sessions. And then the classes came along. People were asking me for classes. And okay. And Torah said, yes, yes. So I've been teaching channeling classes now for 40 something years, a lot of years. And it continues to be filled with love and joy and so much gratitude for me. I just love what I do. So I don't know if you need more detail on the background, but that's the story.
That's wonderful. Yes.
Evolution. Out of that, I learned, of course, that channeling is best when it's trained and when there are classes and when it's a spiritual process for the channel, which continues.
Do you
Yeah.
believe that each one of us can channel because you said it's better when it's trained? Or do you believe that it's the privileged few like you and Sharon who come with that ability? What is the way that we can open
Well,
channeling?
the analogy that I use is like a violin. You know, anybody can pick up a violin and go squeak, 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 but not everybody's going to play like Yehudi Menuhin or one of the great Joshua Bell, one of the great violinists. What's the difference? Commitment, desire, passion, and following through. So channels that develop are in a sense, it's not like it just some cloud comes down over your head and boom, you're a channel. It doesn't happen like that, as Sharon can testify. It is a process, a loving process of relating with spirit. So it depends on what you put into it. What you put into it determines what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
So some people may be a little more preordained than others to channel because of past lives or because of their other agreements they made with their subconscious and unconscious.
Yeah. And talking about this, so most of us will not commit to channeling, but I wonder, we all receive guidance from our souls, from our higher self, from the divine. How can we distinguish when it's my mind and wishful thinking or when it's real guidance?
Well, that really depends on how much you love yourself or how much you know yourself. If you know your games and the mental games that we play, the monkey games, the monkey mind games we play with ourselves, you can pretty much discern what's wishful thinking and what is something that an unseen friend might tell you that would include growth. So not just a prediction, but something you're going to learn. So I think wisdom, maybe Mira, maybe that's one nice way to put it. Wisdom is the key. If the information you're getting is full of wisdom and helpful in that way, it's probably one of your guides. But if it's just patting you on the back, oh, you're great, and everything will be fine, maybe your ego is getting involved. I hope that helps. It takes a little discernment and practice to tell the difference between the ego and guidance, but it usually involves wisdom and love. Love.
This
Love.
this was brilliant. I'm just blown away by your answer because it was just so to the point and I really got it. How does it feel for you when you start channeling? How does it I'm so sorry. I have so many questions, Sharon. How does it
It's
feel for
okay.
you?
I'm used to questions and I'm used to answers.
You.
So
When you
what's the
begin
question? Oh,
channeling, how do you experience Torah? How do you experience the moment when you start connecting?
well, it feels like I'm being surrounded by an incredible aura and energy of unconditional love. It just like comes in, this unconditional love, and I feel bliss. And then I hear him in my mind, uh, affirming, I'm here, I'm here. Sometimes he'll say, get a little bit more out of the way, which I will. But usually he says, I'm here, just we're ready to go. And then boom, he'll just start talking. But it's this love. That's the bottom line, is the love that a trance channel feels. Now, conscious channeling, where you're relaying it from things you're hearing and you're repeating what you're hearing, which is relay channeling, you may not feel that love. But when you are energetically merged with an unseen friend, you'll be feeling vast unconditional love.
Absolutely.
I know Sharon can testify to that.
Yes, I feel like I'm wrapped in this, I don't know, blanket of safety, and I just want to be there. I don't want to move from their love. It's so powerful. It's beyond words. And I also want to add that another important thing for going through for me was that, like you said, learning to discern and being a clean channel, because when we help other people, if you do it for yourself, it's a different game. But if you help people, if that's what you're in service, you do want to be educated and know how to look at things and come from a really clean place. I don't know if clean comes across the way I mean it, but I mean
clear. I would say a clear, connected place.
Yes, not have the ego or our experiences come
So
in.
what that means then is you take time to look at what could be my potential hidden agendas. What could be my potential hidden agendas? And if you get in touch with, oh yeah, it's to be famous, or oh yeah, I'm going to make some money from this, or whatever, forget about it. That's a hidden agenda, and it's all about you. And real channeling is not all about you. But it is a relationship.
Yeah.
So does that help? The clarity, I think a lot of it goes back to the motivation that channels have to channel in the first place. And again, the dedication, like I was saying, Mira, that time, the dedication, the passion to develop it, to practice, to do sessions with people where they kind of challenge the channeling a little bit, for practice. And until things get, let's say, solidified and balanced in the aura and in the channeling. Did that answer the question?
Perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you, please.
Go ahead, Mira. Go ahead.
I,
How would you tell the listeners that they can open the path for them to channel?
Okay. The first thing is, first of all, I mentioned the desire and the passion and the intention. Okay. But now it's very important to establish a relationship with one's higher self. And that's knowing more about your own multidimensionality, the great wisdom and love that you possess as a consciousness and as a soul, and getting to know your higher self. And then with your higher self in meditation, deep meditation, setting intentions that your higher self will work with you. And that really opens things up. So what's nice is that then when you have your unseen friends or guides coming, you know that your higher self is, how to say, sort of allowing that, and means it'll be a lot easier to trust the unseen friend. So it's a little bit like getting to know first your conscious, subconscious, and then your higher consciousness, which is your higher self, opening the path to other unseen friends.
I
And
know.
it is a process over time. It takes time. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to say that this training that I've done with you has helped me in so many ways to go through life knowing that I have the higher self. I could communicate with it all the time. And as you say, I trust whatever I get from my higher self because I've worked with it and I trust it. I know that I'm getting
Yes.
whatever the highest and best is for myself or for others. When I channel for others, I also
Mhm.
have my higher self there, just as and their higher self. If I channel for them, I invite their higher self as well. Yeah.
Yes, there's really nothing like it. Your higher self always has your back. And of course, there is that other level that you know, Sharon, which is we don't expect our higher self to do things for us, but to help us do things for ourselves, help us to create our own reality for ourselves, because that's why we're here in the first place, right?
That's a great.
You so generously offered that you channel Torah for us, and I wonder as we do that, do you have any tips for us on what questions are appropriate? What will be just anything you can give us as guidance?
Sure. Always growth-oriented questions,
Mm,
things that are going to help you empower yourself and grow.
mm,
And in other words, things like uh, I'm having trouble with my inner critic. How can I work to work, get rid of all those critical, self-critical thoughts? And
yeah.
that's a growth question. Um, so growth questions, I would say, are the best. I mean, it's nice to say what's happening on Venus, but you know, I don't know where that came from, but it's like what's going to help you grow? What's going to help you learn about you? You know, so those are kind of the best questions, you know.
Right. Venus. Today on well, we're recording this on Valentine's Day, so it's appropriate to ask about some Venus for
Well,
Valentine's.
Venus, he has a little synchronicity there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you want me to go into trance and let Torah
I
Yeah.
answer?
would love that. Yes, we would love that.
You went like this, but you mean this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Very good. So it takes me about 30 seconds to go into trance with silence. And you'll know there's a little bit of difference in the voice and the energy. And just sort of be receptive and looking forward to receiving love. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you.
I need to fix this. Hang on. Okay. All right. All right. And so we say greetings and greetings indeed then to the two of you. Welcome, welcome. And to anyone else that may be listening, a pleasure and a delight to be here with you. Absolutely a deep pleasure, a rich delight. And we want to begin with the gratitude to you, dear Sharon, dear Mira. If we're getting your name properly, Mira, is that the right
That's
pronunciation?
right. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
So,
Yeah.
dear Mira, dear Sharon, thank you so much for establishing this platform, allowing people to tune in, tune out, do whatever they wish with information. It is certainly a sign of the times that there is wisdom information flowing endlessly from so many resources and multidimensionally, flowing from other dimensions, certainly so. We are most grateful to be a part of that, and we are most grateful to be part of your platform here today. So thank you very much. And how would you like to begin with a question?
Hi, dear Tora. I'm so excited. I'm besides myself. I haven't spoken to you in a while, but it's such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
And
so,
likewise, absolutely.
thank you. I think if you can, I mean, there's so much wisdom that you can impart with us, but the whole intention behind this platform is to help us expand our consciousness. And as you know, you better than us maybe, right now is a good time to, or it is a time that we are expanding. And so I would ask you if there are some pointers or perhaps some guidelines that you might have for us to go forward.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
there's some very powerful basic ones, which is nurture your curiosity. Let yourself be curious. Gee, I wonder what that's about. Wonder what that's about. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? And one fun way to nurture curiosity is to look at the synchronicities in your life, the crossover points where the non-physical and the physical meet, the synchronicities, so things can drop in from beyond time and space into time and space, and being curious about that. So curiosity, the divine curiosity that takes you into bigger thinking, into bigger consciousness, is one way we would say to do that. The other thing, parallel, it comes right alongside nurture curiosity, is to allow mystery, allow that you don't know everything, allow the unknown. And that fits together with curiosity, because usually you're curious about what you don't know. But at any rate, when we talk about the unknown, okay, unseen friends, for example, you all have guides and unseen friends, and yet there's a lot of mystery about that. How can that be? We can't see them. The only way we can hear them is through a channel. So in other words, let the curiosity, let the mystery be there. Along with the curiosity, let the mystery be there, so that as you're expanding your consciousness, you allow mystery. I don't understand that. I don't know how that works, but I'm going to explore it. The other thing, I would say the third thing, is to let yourself explore things you really don't know about, that you seem to be intrigued about. Now, maybe you're not intrigued with mathematics, but maybe someone is intrigued by quantum physics. How is it that thought can change the behavior of subatomic particles? That may intrigue someone and to go in. So in other words, go into the areas that you don't know about that are intriguing to you, and that will expand awareness. When you're a child, you're in school and you learn things, and you don't know them till you learn them. 2 and 2 is 4. You didn't know that when you were 3 or 2, right? Maybe when you were 3. Who knows? But 2 and 2, so, but it was always there. The information, 2 and 2 is 4. And then as you grew, you went to school and you learned. And children love to learn, love to learn. How much is 2 and 2 is 4? How much is 4 and 4? How much? In other words, be that way as an adult when it comes to your metaphysics and spirituality. Be curious, expanding our awareness means going into topics and thinking and study that you haven't studied before. The 2-year-old hasn't studied 2 and 2 is 4 yet. but then she does comes along. So it really makes sense to go where you haven't studied before, and that expands your consciousness. To expand awareness means to become self-aware, to know more about yourself.
Mhm.
So hopefully that answers your question.
It does. And that leads me to the next question is, how do we explore ourselves more? Besides like you said, the curiosity, how do we get in touch with our truer self?
Well, there's a lot of methods, a lot of ways, and a lot of tools and techniques.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ways that isn't always talked about this way in this topic is to look at what is not working in your life and then ask yourself why. What am I doing that is not working right now? And that leads you to what am I doing that is working? And finding how to match those things up. So self-inquiry, self-examination, not self-criticism, just good old examination, looking at yourself, maybe getting some good classes, good teachers, good therapists, good counselors, good coaches, whomever can help feed your self-awareness. And one way to sort of launch into self-awareness is to look at your life. What's happening in your life? What is working and why? And what isn't working and why?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that puts you on the path.
Yeah.
And as we step on the path, I wonder, being clearly aware of what's not working, I wonder how would you guide us to work through those things? Do we just forgive ourselves? Do we just make peace with it? Do we try to do better tomorrow? I wonder what's the next step.
Oh, all those things, those are good things.
Yeah.
Very good. But yes, the first thing is to observe them, allow them, and in a sense, be grateful for them, because they are going to lead you to more knowledge. And self-acceptance is so important. I love myself in spite of my flaws, I love myself even though I'm not perfect. And that's so important. It brings in more love. So above all, you want to love yourself no matter what. Love yourself no matter what. No matter what you believe about yourself, no matter what somebody told you about yourself. If they've told you wonderful things, okay, you can think about that. Take that in, see if it works. Yeah. But really, really, self-knowledge is about thinking. Let yourself think deeper. Think deeper. So many people just go on with it. There's a lot of cliche these days. Oh, well, let it just happen. The universe will take care of it. In other words, what does that mean? Dig into what these things mean. If people are giving you platitudes, ask deeper. Ask deeper and learn more that way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate everything you said, and this made me wonder. These days, I feel like I'm walking with a lot of duality. My inner world feels peaceful and connected, and the outer world feels so disturbing. Everywhere I look, with politics, with the economy, with people's mental state, and so. What would you advise me to do so that I'm both engaged with the world, right? So that I'm not disconnected and living a full life, but also keeping my sanity?
Oh, that's such a very, very good question. And you mentioned duality, and it is true that a lot of people have that duality of, oh, I'm so good when I meditate, and I have that part of my thinking that is so in harmony and peaceful. But look at the world. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, that's a very big and a very deep question. We'll do our best to uh, put it to you succinctly here. The outer world, of course, is the world you created coming into in order to learn about yourself and the world, of course, but to learn about yourself. And in that regard, there is this thing, the terminology explored by Carl Jung, the terminology of the collective unconscious. There's a part of your being that is unconscious. Below the conscious and subconscious is the unconscious. And that is, in a sense, a collection. If it is the collective unconscious, a collection of what's happening out in the world, that some of it you don't relate to, but nevertheless, it's a part of your collective unconscious. And so it's out there. And in that way, you can work with it, looking to the metaphor of what is that particular issue representing in me. So if it's something about war, you could ask yourself, how does war relate to me as a metaphor? How am I to learn from what this is saying? And asking yourself all those questions. A lot of metaphors. Your whole life is really about looking at the reflection of the outer world and the metaphors it offers to you. Even how many green lights you get driving to work. Green and red. Yeah, I got all green lights today. That means I'm in alignment with myself. You can think of it that way. So we'd say, when it comes to that incredible dichotomy of in the inner world, you feel peaceful, in the outer world, not so peaceful. Look to see what metaphors stand out to you. Well, I'm particularly touched by the immigration crisis. So I want to focus with that. What can I do that can help that crisis in my consciousness or even in my life? Do I want to go physically, be of service? Do I have, in a sense, some wonderful meditation ways to connect and send the love and light, the harmony that I want to have in that world of immigration conflict? In other words, if something stands out to you for the metaphor that it is, as something you can do to help the collective reality, do it by all means. This is a time when helping to meditate to quell conflict, real conflict between countries, between peoples, is so important to reach understanding. How do people come around to reach understanding? And you may, in your inner world of peace and love, feel understanding, but the outer world is telling you, wait a minute, you're fascinated by that particular war. Something is talking to you about that. What is it saying to you about that? Maybe it's saying there's two parts of you at war with each other. Maybe not. So you want to explore that dichotomy, what stands out in the outer world that needs your help, and bring that peace and love that you know in the inner world to that trouble spot in the outer world, or that trouble issue in the outer world, in any way that you can. So the world is not there for you to ignore. It's there for you to engage.
That's really wonderful. As I was listening to you, I was applying immediately what you were speaking of, and I really appreciate the realizations I had in my mind. And so I also love what you said, that the world is there to be engaged with, not to be ignored. In other words, it's not about us hiding in a little bubble. It's about engaging, because then that engagement brings us back to ourselves and knowing ourselves and the connection with our soul.
Yes. Yes. You chose to be physical. You don't want to ignore it. You want to, so one of the goals, if you can call it that, one of the endeavors of humanity is to become a spiritualized human. Both. Spiritualized human being. So that you can entertain that you are a spirit in a body, a soul in a body, not a body with a soul.
Yeah. Yes.
Spiritualized human.
Mm.
I do a lot of past life regressions with people. It is
Good.
a way of connecting with their other lives. And oftentimes I'm asked the question, is this my last life? This is hard. Oh, I want this to be my last life. I would love to hear your take on this whole conversation of our last life. How do we navigate that? Because to some people it's a very exciting question, and to others it's, well, I'm here for a
Escape.
long. Yes,
Others, it's escape. They want to get
yes,
away
that's
from
it.
this life.
Escape. You
Okay,
said it
enough
very
with the
well.
physical stuff, enough with the conflict. I just want to
Yeah,
make it my path.
yes, yes.
We would say that's the wrong motivation, and then that just adds a few more lifetimes to the list.
Yes.
You want to make this your last life, and that's your goal with the fist held high. I'm going to do that. Well, that adds a few more lifetimes now.
Right there, totally.
So,
Yes.
yes, approaching that's such a big question, Mira. Ooh, uh, every person is so individually different,
Mm.
and there may be very good reasons to come back. Think of the Dalai Lama. Just think about that extraordinary man, that extraordinary soul. He had his last lifetime in 800 AD, and he said, "No, I have to come back. I have to help. I have to do things. I have to be of service to humanity, to mankind. I will commit to continuing to come back to help." So that's very important to think about. Now, in current times, we have heard that he has stated that after all the many, many, many lifetimes he has had since 800 AD in helping humanity, namely being the Dalai Lama, the head of the Buddhist church in that regard, after all those lifetimes, he has said this is going to be his last one. Well, what a wonderful thing that would be to talk to him about it. What makes you feel this is the last lifetime? We don't know what he would say, but chances are he might say something like, humanity is learning, coming along. I've done what I can do in many incarnations. I've given what I could give. I tried to save and have saved many of the temples and the methodologies of worship and honoring the Creator and all that creation is about. And humanity needs to do it for themselves now. He might say that. We're not sure. We can't speak for him, that's for sure. But when it comes to saying, I want this to be my past lifetime, the first thing to look at is arrogance. Is there arrogance in the reason you want that? And if so, we'd say, look to the Dalai Lama. Look to the Dalai Lama, the least arrogant person on the planet, yes? So with each person, it's so totally individual of why it would be their last lifetime. How many karmas have they healed? How many lifetimes have they had where they were dedicated to spirituality, where they focused on humanity, where they gave of themselves, of their soul? It's a very big question, and a very individual question involving people looking at their own shadow. Got to look at the shadow. So that's best we can do with that big question, Mira, right now.
It was a brilliant answer. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And when I started my own spiritual journey, I used to think to myself, exactly the escapist attitude of, oh, I cannot wait for this to be over. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm getting hang of this whole thing called life. I don't mind showing up a few more
Yes.
times or as many more times as I'm needed, right? Yeah.
So here's the thing. One of the things, Mira, that can help you at that level when you realize, you know what, I'm understanding things a little more, I'm grasping a little bit of what this is all about. Now what?
Mhm.
Well,
Literally.
back to number 2, what we talked about. Look for the mystery.
Yeah.
Look to the unexplained. See if you can figure it out. In other words, anything that comes into your reality, flying balls of light, whatever fascinates you. I don't know. How does that work? I really want to know. In other words, let yourself get intrigued by the moreness that life has to offer you,
Mm,
the mystery, because there you will find more love.
mm,
And one of the bottom lines we say about lifetimes is look to how you are yourself creating more love in the world
mm.
and in the universe.
Oh, this is incredible. Sharon, please step in. I feel like I'm just so blessed right now to have this conversation. I'm
I
going to
know.
ask only one other question.
Oh,
How can I, yeah,
you're handing it over to you. Oh,
yes,
I'm handing it to you, but I have one more question.
just one more, please, one more. Because the question is, how do I create more love? I've been really sitting with myself and I've been saying, what next? And the only thing I could come up with is create love, right? Be that source and beacon
Oh,
of love. And I
so
love,
good. You came up with that. All right.
I
That's
did, I
already
did. But I
that's
haven't
already
figured out the
check
way
one.
already.
You
Yes,
already checked that box.
yes,
I
I haven't
create more
figured out
love.
the way though. So anything you can give me, I'm so appreciative.
Well, Mira, you want to look at your life. How can you love more? Is
Mm,
there somebody that you kind of don't get along with too well and you don't like to be around them? Well, that's a chance to love more. Find the way to love them.
yeah.
In other words, look for the places where your love can be of service to others. Look for the places that you feel you're not as loving as you could be and pour it on. Just pour it on. Bring in your love. They'll feel it.
Yeah.
So love more for every hate and fear. So every hate you have, every fear you have, a chance to love more.
Mm.
Okay, let's turn to Sharon now. Sharon, you've got one?
Yeah,
And can
well,
I
I'm just thinking about this, what you were just saying, that I feel like I always send my love to whomever I can, but the truth is that people that I don't hate, I've never been able to hate. That's not, doesn't go with me, but people that I don't feel
in
connected
harmony?
with, even if they might be someone related to family or a good friend of a good friend, I kind of just let them out of my field. I don't know how to put it differently, but now when you say that, that made me think.
So let them be out of your field if you like, but surround them with light and love.
Oh
Love
yeah,
them, but love them while they're out of your field. I
right.
love you and I release you to have all your own love. And I'm always sending you love. But I'm not choosing not to interact with you because I have other people that I'm very busy loving.
Yeah.
So I love you, but I sort of have you out of my field, but I have you out of my field with my love.
Definitely, definitely. I say that too. I release you with love. That's my thing to say. So thank you for that. And I'm just thinking, I kind of have something personal to ask and not so personal, but I'm thinking if it's going to be helpful. I'm sure it's going to be helpful for others. As a being in service, a service provider, I think we talked about this many years ago. I have this on and off pattern of having toxic compassion. So
Ah,
my thing, right, is
mm,
I care, but I care too much. I take responsibility where I shouldn't, even though in my mind I know it's their journey, that's what they choose, there are no victims, yada yada yada. But then I get so exhausted in my energy field that I know that that's what's happening, right? So how how can I take it to a deeper level where I'm more aware of
not
the,
to take Nick, not to take the toxic empathy in,
yes,
but one term that we love is aware compassion.
Mhm.
Think of lifting your toxic empathy to aware compassion. I have compassion for that person, and I'm aware they are doing the best they can with what they know and all the wisdom that you've learned through the years. I'm aware of those things, and with those things, I have compassion for that person. But I have detached compassion.
Right.
And one little visualization, simple tool technique is that you scan your energy field and you realize, oh, just what you said, I've been paying too much attention on this person who is self-critical, or let us say, not helping others, or whatever. So whatever it is, you're scanning your energy field. There's somebody in there
Mhm.
that you're spending time within your mind and you don't want to. So you visualize them in your field, and then you do something. You can do it very physically if you like.
Mm.
And it goes like this. So maybe it may make them believe that person's right here. And you
Mhm.
say, I love you, and I take you out of my field now. Boom.
Hmm. That's
I
nice.
love you, and I take you out of me now.
Mhm.
I love you, and I take you out of me now.
Mhm.
And that'll help. You know, when you take the physical action and the verbal, I love you, and I take you out of me now. And you can add, I have compassion for you,
Mhm.
whatever you like. But you can also keep it simple. I love you, but I take you out of me now.
Mhm.
And you may have to do that more than once. So when they keep creeping in, and all the thoughts about their negativity, and oh, that person's so negative, and oh, they this, and your own negativity is getting engaged. I love you, and I take you out of me now. Boom.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
We need to make that the last question, unless there is
Yeah.
one final question before we go.
No, we've taken up so much of your time. We're so thankful, grateful for you, for what you bring to this planet, to what you bring to me personally. I love you endlessly. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being in our energy field, for being in it. Yes, we are
Yes.
most grateful for this opportunity and to touch on some very important things about living in this complex world you're living in. And oh, yes, do indeed honor the love that you are. You are both beautifully loving beings. Honor that and use it. Yes. So
Yeah.
we'll depart at this time with our love. Much love.
Much love, Dora.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh my God, Shawn, I can't thank you enough. This has been, wow. I didn't even realize it's been so long. I apologize. I didn't mean to take it long.
oh, so long. Yes, I have to go actually.
Yes.
I have a Valentine dinner I'm looking forward to.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, thank you both for including
Thank
me. I
you.
appreciate it.
Shawn, before you go, I just we're gonna put down your website.
Oh,
And
sure. The website is www.shawnrandall.com, or Center for Personal Transformation.
right, and it is
I,
a very big personal
yeah,
transformation.
it's an old website, but the date on the latest channeling class is an old date. But there's good material in there, and a lot of good articles and stuff, and some
Wonderful.
videos and stuff for people to watch if they
Yes.
are curious for more. Thank you both very much.
you.
I've got to go.
Thank
Yes,
It was
a
wonderful
you.
to
pleasure.
meet you.
Mwah.
Much
Much
love.
love. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
You too.
Valentine's. Bye.
Bye.